Before dawn reaches this desert, a small predator already searches the darkness for movement. Its body is light, fast, and built for survival inside an unforgiving prehistoric ecosystem. Velociraptor is not a giant monster, but a cautioned hunter shaped by constant risk. Around it, every animal competes for food, territory, water, and the chance to survive another season. Even the smallest decision can waste energy, expose weakness, or attract larger predators nearby. Its curved claw is deadly at close range, but every attack carries dangerous consequences. Today, hunger pushes the hunter toward prey large enough to fight back. In this ancient desert, hesitation and patience are often separated by only seconds. Fossil evidence reveals an agile predator covered partly in primitive feathers rather than reptilian scales. Its lightweight skeleton reduces energy costs while allowing sudden bursts of controlled speed. Feathered arms help stabilize movement during fast turns across unstable desert ground. Its world changes constantly as storms, migration, drought, and predators reshape the ecosystem. Food sources rarely remain stable, forcing predators to track shifting herds across dangerous terrain. Scavenging offers easy calories, but larger competitors may arrive without warning. Water sources attract nearly every species, turning peaceful moments into potential ambush zones. A separated juvenile offers opportunity, but reaching it demands dangerous proximity to protective adults. The hunter pauses instantly, conserving energy while waiting for the herd to relax again. For several seconds, speed becomes the only advantage separating predator from escaping prey.
The attack fails instantly as defensive adults drive the smaller predator away from the herd.
Failed hunts drain critical energy reserves already strained by heat and scarce resources. Against larger carnivores, survival depends more on caution than confrontation. Even small injuries threaten mobility, slowing hunts and increasing long-term vulnerability. Seasonal storms reshape the landscape, flooding nests and scattering prey across unfamiliar territory. During breeding season, survival expands beyond hunting to include protection of vulnerable eggs. Primitive feathers may also help regulate temperature around developing young during freezing nights.
Over time, climate instability slowly transforms fertile regions into harsher and drier environments. As prey populations decline, predators travel farther while gaining less energy from each search.
Many nests never survive violent storms, temperature swings, or scavenger intrusion. Age gradually reduces speed and endurance, weakening survival chances inside an increasingly unstable ecosystem.
Environmental pressure accumulates silently across generations long before extinction finally arrives.
Millions of years later, only fragments remain beneath stone shaped by ancient deserts. Yet its evolutionary story continues through living birds that still inherit ancient survival adaptations. The world that shaped Velociraptor vanished, but evolution carried pieces of it into the present.
In silence, the desert erases its footprints, but never the history written beneath them.
Seasonal cooling forces smaller predators to spend more energy locating hidden sources of food. Primitive feathers trap warmth efficiently during cold nights across exposed desert environments. Small mammals provide occasional prey, though catching them wastes valuable energy if unsuccessful.
Careful observation often determines whether a hunt succeeds or ends in dangerous failure.
For a brief moment, distance weakens the defensive coordination of the larger herd.
The predator attacks quickly, targeting balance and confusion rather than prolonged direct combat.
This time, precision and timing finally deliver the calories needed for short-term survival.
Successful hunts immediately attract scavengers searching for any remaining scraps of flesh.
After feeding, conserving energy becomes more important than searching for unnecessary conflict.
Territorial encounters rarely escalate immediately because injury threatens both animals equally.
Instead of reckless fighting, both predators test distance, posture, and possible retreat routes.
Avoiding conflict often preserves more survival value than winning a costly confrontation. Changing weather systems trigger migrations that reshape predator movement across entire regions.
Following migrating prey demands endurance through unfamiliar terrain filled with hidden dangers.
Every new environment increases exposure to predators, flooding, injury, and starvation. Flooded terrain slows movement, forcing predators to spend precious energy crossing unstable ground. Storms create confusion across the ecosystem, briefly exposing vulnerable animals separated from shelter.
Opportunistic feeding reduces risk compared with attacking larger and heavily defended prey.
Darkness lowers visibility for both predators and prey, increasing uncertainty with every movement. Even skilled hunters remain vulnerable when larger carnivores begin searching nearby territory. Avoidance becomes the safest strategy whenever survival odds shift towards stronger competitors.
During difficult seasons, predators sometimes discover only bones where food once existed.
Long periods without successful feeding weaken muscles, reaction speed, and hunting efficiency.
Temporary tolerance may occur around food, though competition never fully disappears.
Small territorial disputes can escalate rapidly whenever resources become critically limited.
Most confrontations end quickly because severe injuries threaten survival for both animals involved.
As drought spreads farther each season, entire migration routes begin slowly collapsing. Declining prey populations force predators into increasingly desperate patterns of movement.
Over generations, environmental instability gradually overwhelms even highly adapted species.
Ancient hunting routes no longer guarantee food as ecosystems continue fragmenting across the region.
Failed nesting seasons reduce future generations long before extinction becomes fully visible.
Extreme weather events arrive more frequently, reshaping habitats faster than species can adapt.
Competition intensifies whenever shrinking food supplies attract multiple hungry predators simultaneously. Without consistent feeding, endurance declines until even movement becomes increasingly exhausting.
Cold nighttime temperatures further increase metabolic stress during periods of starvation and drought.
Larger predators continue expanding territory as weaker animals lose the strength to resist. Older survivors carry years of injuries that permanently reduce speed and hunting precision. Instinct continues driving migration, even as familiar ecosystems disappear beyond the desert.
Eventually, Only buried remains preserve evidence of lives shaped by survival and adaptation.
Though Velociraptor vanished, its evolutionary descendants continue thriving across the modern world. Modern birds still carry traces of anatomy once shared with agile prehistoric predators.
Time erases tracks from the surface, yet evolution preserves their deeper biological story.
The world that shaped Velociraptor disappeared forever, but life itself continued adapting beyond extinction.
Across vanished deserts, the memory of survival still echoes quietly through every living descendant.
Each morning begins with uncertainty, as predators search landscapes constantly reshaped by weather and migration. Rivers support dense biological activity, drawing both prey animals and dangerous competitors together.
Successful predators depend more on timing and observation than uncontrolled aggression.
Slow movement reduces detection risk while narrowing the distance needed for sudden acceleration. Young animals separated from protective groups face the highest survival pressure inside unstable ecosystems.
For several dangerous seconds, speed and precision decide whether energy will be gained or wasted. Protective adults often transform easy opportunities into highly dangerous confrontations for smaller predators.
Repeated hunting failures gradually weaken endurance, slowing recovery and increasing long-term vulnerability. Scavengers recycle every available resource within ecosystems shaped by constant scarcity. Territory boundaries reduce unnecessary conflict by warning rivals before direct encounters occur. Visual displays often replace combat because injuries threaten survival for every predator involved. Retreat can preserve more future survival value than risking damage through unnecessary confrontation. Seasonal storms trigger large ecosystem shifts that force predators into unfamiliar hunting territories. Following migrating prey requires endurance across terrain filled with hidden environmental hazards.
Flooded landscapes increase injury risk while reducing mobility during already difficult migrations.
Night movement reduces heat exposure, though darkness increases uncertainty across unfamiliar terrain. Remaining undetected becomes essential whenever larger predators enter overlapping hunting territory. As prey numbers decline, predators encounter increasing distances between feeding opportunities.
Climate instability slowly transforms once fertile habitats into hostile and increasingly barren environments. Shrinking prey populations create cascading pressure across every predator within the ecosystem. Unstable weather destroys vulnerable nesting grounds before young animals can fully develop. Age compounds environmental stress by reducing mobility, reaction speed, and hunting efficiency. Entire ecosystems can collapse gradually, long before extinction becomes fully visible within fossil records.
Millions of years later, buried fossils still preserve evidence of prehistoric survival struggles.
Modern birds continue carrying ancient anatomical traits inherited from agile feathered predators. The evolutionary story of Velociraptor never fully ended, only transformed across deep time.
Though its footprints vanished long ago, the legacy of Velociraptor still survives within living descendants. In silence, the ancient desert remembers a predator shaped entirely by survival and change.
Wetlands briefly increase biodiversity, attracting predators searching for smaller, vulnerable prey animals.
Track patterns reveal careful movement designed to reduce noise and conserve unnecessary energy. Resting during peak daytime heat reduces dehydration and preserves strength for future hunting attempts. Predators constantly evaluate whether the energy gained from hunting outweighs potential physical risks. Animals separated from protective groups become immediate targets within highly competitive ecosystems. Short bursts of controlled speed create opportunities before prey fully reacts to approaching danger. Not every pursuit succeeds, and wasted energy gradually weakens long-term survival chances. Recovery periods become essential whenever repeated failures reduce the available physical endurance. Scavengers rapidly consume abandoned carcasses before larger predators can reclaim remaining nutrients.
Feeding opportunities become increasingly dangerous whenever stronger carnivores patrol nearby territory.
Breeding seasons shift survival priorities toward protection of eggs and vulnerable offspring. Primitive feathers help stabilize temperatures during cold nights across exposed nesting grounds. Seasonal migration patterns force predators to adapt continuously changing hunting strategies. Long-distance pursuit demands endurance through unfamiliar environments filled with hidden environmental threats.
Sudden flooding can destroy hunting grounds and separate predators from stable food sources.
Darkness increases uncertainty, yet nighttime movement reduces exposure to daytime desert heat. Survival sometimes depends entirely on avoiding detection by larger and more powerful predators. Retreating early often prevents injuries that could later become fatal during harsh environmental conditions.
As habitats dry further each season, entire food chains begin gradually collapsing. Weakened prey populations create mounting survival pressure for every predator following migration routes.
Violent weather increasingly destroys vulnerable nests before future generations can survive.
Aging predators struggle as declining strength combines with worsening environmental instability.
Silence gradually replaces the ecosystem activity that once sustained entire prehistoric communities. Buried beneath ancient deserts, fossil remains preserve evidence of vanished biological worlds. Evolution carried many prehistoric adaptations forward into the anatomy of living birds. Although Velociraptor disappeared, the evolutionary process shaping life never truly stopped. Across deep time, survival leaves traces carried forward long after species themselves vanish. Water sources concentrate life, creating temporary hunting opportunities within otherwise harsh environments.
Tracking prey efficiently reduces wasted energy across ecosystems shaped by constant uncertainty.
Careful observation often determines whether a hunt becomes successful or dangerously costly. Explosive bursts of speed briefly compensate for the predator's relatively small body size. Successful hunts provide temporary stability inside ecosystems defined by continuous biological pressure.
Feeding rapidly reduces exposure to scavengers and stronger carnivores attracted by fresh carcasses.
Smaller predators rarely defend kills once stronger competitors enter overlapping territory. Rest and energy conservation remain essential survival behaviors during prolonged environmental stress.
Protecting vulnerable eggs demands constant vigilance against scavengers, storms, and environmental exposure.
Extreme storms can destroy entire nesting seasons within only a few devastating hours.
Environmental instability increasingly threatens future generations before they fully develop. Long-term drought gradually transforms productive habitats into barren landscapes, unable to support large ecosystems. As prey numbers decline further, predators travel greater distances while gaining fewer calories. Accumulated injuries and aging reduce survival efficiency within increasingly unstable environments. The ecosystem that once sustained countless lives now grows quieter with each passing season. Buried fossils preserve fragments of biological history hidden beneath ancient desert landscapes. Modern birds still carry evolutionary traces inherited from agile, feathered, prehistoric predators. Though Velociraptor vanished, evolution continued reshaping life across changing worlds and climates. Extinction ends individual species, yet life itself continues adapting across immense stretches of time. Across vanished deserts, the memory of survival still echoes quietly through living descendants today. The story of Velociraptor survives not through fear, but through evolution, adaptation, and endurance.